Bloomberg Audio Studios.
Podcasts, radio, news.
Single best idea. After a jobs day, an extraordinary week, an extraordinary 12 months for this great bull market. That's my theme into the end of the year. We're not going to overweight equity strategists, but we're going to lean forward and listen a little more carefully to equity strategists into the end of the year. So many of them were behind this bull market trend. So many of them are catching up. Yes, we'll emphasize people that nailed it. Ed Yardeni getting a lot of accolade for that. There's Brian Belsky, BMO Capital Markets, and many, many others. But we're going to particularly listen to those that maybe got it wrong or off the mark, and they're recalibrating. This is an absolute cardinal rule of the business. Really, really, really listen and study people that got it wrong. Without question, the seismic shift in strategy this week was David Rosenberg of Rosenberg Research in Toronto, who flat out came out in the last 24 hours and said, I need to recalibrate. I need to readjust. This is a bull market. What did I get wrong about growth? Really pay attention to David Rosenberg in the coming weeks as he recalibrates to this solid American economy and to equities higher. We finished the week strong. Too many voices to even begin to talk about on Jobs Day. Where do you go? Claudia Sahm, New Century's advisors. Dr. Sahm on recession or lack thereof forward.
I think if you ask people, are we in a recession? Are you in a recession? They tie that word up with a lot of negative feelings, a lot of struggle and hardship. They don't tie it up to the National Bureau of Economic Research's definition of a broad-based contraction economic activity. So when I see those surveys of people saying we're in a recession, I understand that what they're telling us is they're facing some hard times or they have family and friends who are. And that the sad reality is that's with us always. I mean, if you look at even, say, a group like Black Americans is not the case at the moment, but over long stretches of history, what their unemployment rate outside of recessions looks like the recessionary unemployment rate, right? So, I mean, we just have pockets of hardship in the country, and that hasn't changed from this. But it is a reminder we've got work to do. And frankly, for those pockets of hardship, the best thing that we have to bring is a strong labor market where it's really working, especially at the bottom. And we saw some of that a few years ago, and that's part of what is slipping away.
Important insight from Claudia Sahm, and this goes back to ages and ages of work as the best solution for people struggling is just a solid sense of economic growth. I know that doesn't get the job done, but at the same time, there we are as well. It was wonderful to speak to Alan Blinder, the former vice chairman of the Federal Reserve System, iconic at Princeton University, clearly associated with Democratic politics. Late in our conversation, I asked Professor Blinder about that ownership the Democratic Party politics and Democratic Party economics had on working class America. They have shifted right.
It's ironic to me that the Democrats against the Republicans go back generations. There's never been a question of which was the party that cared more about ordinary working people. Never. Until now. And now there is. And the Republicans, in particular Donald Trump, have captured a lot of that support and vote. I think that those people are going to see what the second Trump administration collection of billionaires actually does with the policy levers and not be too happy. Certainly not believe that it was for them.
Terrific response to our conversation with Professor Blinder. Those of a different persuasion, I should say, suggesting maybe it was a Blinder in a politics of the past. And of course, he had a lot of support out there as well for where the two parties head into 2026 and 2028. On your commute across America, thank you for listening. On YouTube, all I can say is subscribe to Bloomberg Politics. Don't let your friends know you're doing it, but subscribe to Bloomberg Podcasts. And we're out there each and every morning, 7 to 10 a.m. Wall Street time. On YouTube Podcasts, this is Single Best Idea.